Despite populist rhetoric in the West, the real refugee crisis is playing out in developing countries, which hosts most of the record 70.8 million displaced people who have fled war and persecution. The almost 70.8 million people forcibly displaced is 2.3 million more than the previous year, according to the United Nations Refugee Agency's annual Global Trends Report. The figure is also double the level recorded 20 years ago. The number averaged out to 37,000 new displacements every day.
Yeah, and it's not just in the United States, in Europe as well, and Australia, it started earlier in Australia than in other places. This is the crisis of solidarity that I have mentioned. It is identifying refugees and migrants with the problem instead of people that are fleeing from a problem.
The figure is conservative as it does not include most of the 4 million Venezuelans who have fled abroad since 2015, it said. This is because Venezuelans do not need visas or to lodge asylum claims to stay in most host countries. If the outflow continues, a total of 5 million Venezuelans could have left by year-end. Filippo Grandi, UN High Commissioner for Refugees, urged for a political solution in the country.
Certainly, if the situation is not solved politically in Venezuela, with a political agreement, we will see a continuation of this exodus. I know that the government of Venezuela has complained that our figures are inflated. Well, these are the figures that we get from governments in the region.
Venezuelans arriving mainly in Colombia, Peru, and Ecuador formed the second biggest flow of newly displaced abroad last year, after Syrians fleeing to Turkey after 8 years of war, the agency said. U.S. President Donald Trump has made reducing illegal migration along the border with Mexico one of his signature policy pledges. Mirasol Abugadil, UNTV, News and Rescue.